Welcome back guys to Divinity Original Sin. My name is MrPantaloons1 as always. We are currently back into our homestead, our lovely home. And after saving the White Witch, we have now some more story options here. So let's see what our friend Zigzags has to say. My friends, we come to it at last. Almost all of the missing threads have been rewoven and the canvas is clear for the first time in eons. I know how you failed. I know why you tore yourselves from the tapestry of time. Let me show you.
The God Box was guarded by two immortal sentinels utterly devoted to their task. But Astarte's playmate, a creature called the Trife, turned her attention to the forbidden box.
I may know a way to destroy what's inside,
hissed the scheming creature.
Together, we can set the Guardians free. But I must first see inside to be sure. Open its lid, Astarte, and we can have a look together.
Astarte trusted her friend and assented. She may have to deceive the Guardians, but in doing so, she would free them. For the first time, the goddess addressed them. "Let me help you," she whispered into the ear of one. "I know your duty, but I will take your place." The other has already agreed. "Haven't you suffered enough of this eternal chore?" she asked the other. "I've come to relieve you. Look, your companion is free already." The Guardians, unaccustomed to such attention, started. She had planted a seed of curiosity within them, rekindled a desire that had, for eons, lain dormant. Slowly, they glanced at one another. As they locked eyes for the first time, Astarte's playmate whispered, "Now." The goddess stole the box and peeped inside, and Source was forever tainted. For his deception, the Trife was cast out of the first garden. He fell to Rivalon, a monster, a creature unworthy of the realm of the gods.
That was kind of a cliche, wasn't it? But we'll roll with it. Where's Zigzags? I guess he ran off to show us the new chamber that we've unlocked. Let's talk to each other first. So it was him all along. The demon that tricked Astarte talked her into tricking us as well. He may be a devious schemer, but it was we who fell for his trickery. That much is true. It baffles and shames me to see how easily we were duped. Forgiving. Nice. We do want that. Okay, so where is Zigzags? Master Zigzags. Can we see him like this? Like this? Or do we need to actually get closer? Oh, there he is. 3 out of 4 have already been reinstated, and now the last of the elementals shall rejoin its illustrious masters. Glory be unto them and glory be unto you. I don't even remember which one we needed.
Who knows what wonder awaits you?
Wait, is it the wind one? We did the fire one, we did the stone one. I'm pretty sure it's the wind one, isn't it? Yeah, it's the wind one, alright.
This place is positively brimming with the surge of storm and lightning.
As good a place as any for an air elemental to set up shop.
Indeed. Oh, now he's called a Trife. Guardians, I ask of you, what are you doing? What good can come of your misguided actions? I have tried to warn you. I have tried to be your friend by pointing toward the one great truth, that is the void maelstrom, and say, relent, for you have failed before, and you shall fail again. Why is it so difficult for you to accept that which is inevitable? All things must pass away, even time itself. Sit ye down, rest, be weary no longer. Acquiesce in the embrace of oblivion. in which there is nothing but the equality and harmony of non-existence. A blessing awaits beyond the end of time. Accept it, for it is yours to receive.
If he has tried to be our friend, that word has truly lost all meaning.
A blessing awaits beyond the end of time. Death's blessing, yes, but no more.
Ooh, there's some loot here as well. Arrow shafts. Just what I needed. Okay, Alotet.
Greetings.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Doo-doo. This chick got a lot of gold. Oh man, what kind of spells do we need? Where does it say? Oh, Blitzbolt, because we got it from the thing. Do we actually need any rogue spells? We might do. Oh my, hello, forgive me, but you startled me. I guess my head was up in the clouds. Oh, me? Sorry, I was just thinking about what it would be like if humans ate with their noses instead of their mouths. Anyway, what were you asking? Oh yes, I saw how breezy and blowy you'd made this place. I thought it'd be the perfect place to clear my head, but not to worry, I'll earn my keep. My stock of air spells will blow your socks off. Hey, yes, snort that spaghetti. Oh, pardon me. Yes, so you'd like to learn to gust with the best of them, would you? Have a look. Now, toodaloo.
Bye.
Medora is pretty much the only user of roguish spells, and it looks like she has a full inventory already anyway. Okay, as for air spells, Johan will have to look to see if he needs anything from her. We could buy this blank skill book, but I don't think we need it. Chain lightning. Immune to electrified. Do we not have that one? We should have it. Yep, there it is. Did I not get like level 5 into air? I thought I did. Maybe I forgot to learn that spell. Set invisible status on a target. Oh my goodness. That's freaking awesome. And storm. Ooh, an air elemental. It's level 30. Oh my goodness. Such awesome spells.
Bye.
Yeah, let's open this. Yeah, there it is. We can learn everything. So go ahead and learn immune to electrified. Chain lightning. Ce n'est pas possible. Alright, what is this? Another blank. Okay, Scarlet, I want you to buy me those wonderful spells. So, make invisible, storm, and summon air elemental. There we go, 13k gold, holy shit. That's a pretty hefty price.
Bye.
But it will do. Give those over to Jahan. Let's identify this little cap here. Perception, sneaking, leadership, interesting. HP 26. No, I don't think we're gonna use it. Or maybe Jahan can use it. Not quite. Okay, Jahan, time to learn some awesome spells. Air elemental and make invisible. Oh yeah, baby. How much does make invisible cost? 8 action points. You know, we could do some really sneaky stuff with this. It lasts for 5 turns, so I can cast it on both Roderick and Medora and sneak behind enemies before triggering combat. And just get like a free flurry on them right off the bat. It's pretty insane. And air elemental. I'm expecting this to have good ranged abilities. And hopefully her normal attack is ranged as well, because we haven't really seen any summons that are ranged by now. That would be really nice to see. How much HP does she have? 462. I don't even remember if that's good or bad. It's probably on the lower side, but we shall take it. But anyway, I'll look for other spells later. Ooh, the death animation is pretty cool. Ooh, and the storm cloud is gonna be really nice. Yeah, I can definitely see that spell to be very, very useful indeed. So I'm actually going to put it as our main summoning ability here. Oh yeah. Alright, I need to find zigzags now. Or we could talk to Ikara. The last chest. Let's talk to these folks. I should have at least one more room opened. Let's see, Ikara. Why, I see Master Zigzags has quite upgraded from his shabby little hut at the edge of the hour. The edge of the hour? So, from the fairy dimension to the space-time weaver hunter imp one. What do you call this place again? This is our homestead on the sheltered plain at the end of time. Ha, is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time, well, suddenly your association with Master Zigzags makes considerably more sense. A source hunter whisking a born sorcerer off to a private shelter plane. It's like something out of Malbini the Bard's Twisted Tales, don't you think? But I must say it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven, however strange among powerful allies. Without your courage and cunning I'd be powerless in Ice Steel. For that I am eternally grateful. Let's start from the beginning. Tell me how and why your sister has gotten entangled in such darkness. Ours was a family of born sorcerers. It was in our blood, our very being, to interact with Source, but my parents were among those who were determined to curb the power that dwelled within us. But their meekness wouldn't save them from the Source Hunters. And it's true, you are a sorcerer. That I am, but there is much more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source is more than blood and madness. It's like lightning, a current of great strength and great power, rare and exquisite, deadly and destructive. We sorcerers are like metal steeples. Source is drawn to us and it flows through us. We can no more easily change that than the steeple can ask not to be struck. But what so many fail to understand is that Source can be controlled. We sorcerers can choose how to handle the force that flows through us and can choose not to wield it. The power drunk through history have earned our kind a terrible reputation and we've suffered awful consequences in kind. What consequences do you mean? You really have no idea, do you? Tell me, Source Hunter, in all of your hours studying the arcane arts, in your days and weeks spent learning the deadliest methods of removing heads from shoulders and hearts from chests, did your great masters ever suggest that perhaps not all sorcerers were evil? Did you ever hear, even once, that some of us were small and weak and innocent, that we were simple forest folk healing the sick and frozen each winter? Small children, daughters perhaps, would hide and hold each other tight when you'd run their parents through. No, I doubt they said a thing about it. I doubt also that they'd mentioned that one day this hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to deal with the Winter King, to grow Death Knights, to inch all of Rivalan toward oblivion. You mean to blame Leandra's doings on we Source Hunters? No, that would be going too far and is skewing far too much of my own responsibility. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own order, but it was me, my foolish heart and the foolish wizard, who sparked all of this. You mean someone of our own order killed your parents? They came on a quiet morning. Leandra and I were playing games on the cabin floor when our mother rushed in, her eyes wild with fright, and commanded me to take my sister and hide ourselves outside among the trees. Even at that young age we knew not to question her. We climbed high into the branches of an old tree nearby. We held each other tight, and before we could look away, watched as our parents were cut down without ceremony before our own front door. The source hunters clapped each other on the back as they sauntered away, wiping their blades. 2 more sorcerers dead. A job well done. What became of Leandra and yourself? From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, something happened within us. Our fear, our wounded souls, and above all, our desperation were so potent that the magic within us began to weave together. We couldn't have known it then, but the soul forge was sealed. We would survive, thrive even, within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. We knew that if any knew of our true nature, of the source within us, we'd soon meet our parents' fate. I spent my time brewing potions, the legacy of my mother and father. I crafted every manner of healing tincture, and I began my work as the guardian of Lucula Forest's many creatures. But Leandra's capacity was enormous. Each bit of magical knowledge was like a crumb to her. She was insatiable. Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into the dark well with terrible regularity. Tell me what happened between yourself, Leandra, and the wizard. My sister and I were mired in a solitary existence, witches among the trees, when the wizard came. Both of us were intrigued by this knowledgeable stranger. He knew we were sorcerers, but paid that fact no mind. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she'd absorbed every bit of knowledge he offered. For his part, the wizard hardly seemed adverse to the attentions of such a sharp, enthusiastic pupil. Their days were spent on charms, dragons, hexes, blessings, and relics. At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and the wizard and I would settle into our quiet tasks, me working through the many great tomes he'd bring, and he engulfed in his letters and his diaries. We were a content trio, the 3 of us, but base impulse would undo us. What do you mean by base impulse? As you know, Leandra and I were soul forged. This offered us a window into one another's psyches, and both of us were sharply aware of feelings we'd each developed for our pleasant guest. He was the first outsider we'd known in many years, and the thrill of his company and his goodness had fast worked its way into our hearts. But it was me to whom the wizard confessed his love, though he spent nearly every waking hour feeding Leandra's insatiable mind. It was those quiet evenings with me that had captured his heart. I, the world's finest fool, thought our odd little family would survive this development. The wizard and I prepared to tell Leandra it was the single most selfish thing I've ever done. Her heart broke the moment we announced our new attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled without a word, and I didn't see her for 2 terrible years. My connection to her, our soul forge, grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were atop our souls, sucking the strength from it day by day. What's next? How do we stop Leandra? With a single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and I fear we'll have to get through it if we wish to find her. But first we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called immaculates does she have in her palm, and to what end is she directing them? Why, it seems you're more than caught up, aren't you? You've already got the spell and the blood, both of which we'll need. The spell is to be believed. To slice through Leandra's army of Death Knights. Remarkable, that means we've only to find a wizard now. Let's discuss my pursuit of the wizard. Long ago, when Source was banished, a league of great men and women promised to protect its secrets. The Keepers of the Source, they call themselves. Our wizard is its last living member. That night in the King Crab Inn, Leandra was after something that only the wizard knew. Find him and you'll learn where to find her. He lives in Hunter's Edge, a village east of Lucula. When last I saw him, he was in a panic about Leandra's betrayal. It's possible that he'll have flown Hunter's Edge, either to escape further entrapment, or to find out more about what our lost lamb has been up to. You may need to investigate to find a hint of his whereabouts. Take this ring, it will mark you as my ally. If you should find the wizard, you'll know I sent you. Let's discuss Leandra's recent operations. She is my sister, my soul, and she ever will be, but what she's done is unconscionable. Since childhood, Leandra has shown a certain disregard for caution and propriety, but she wouldn't have dreamed of harming a living thing. I believe that our soul force has been damaged by what I can only guess. Still, this dissolution of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift in a well of sorrow and misery that she truly believes will never end. Leandra is marred deeply in certain sorrowful moments from our past, and all she needs is a hand, my hand, out of them. If our soul forge is repaired, I remain certain she'll cease blazing this path of destruction. Let's discuss the soul forge between you and Leandra. I cannot condone the terrible things she's done, but I can seek to understand them. With our soul forge in such tatters, I believe Leandra is adrift in the not at all inconsiderable sorrows of our lives. What's more, I sense a terrible force bearing down upon the bond between us. It is hungry, growing by the hour, and consumes ever more of Leandra's mind and soul. I cannot say exactly what this force may be, but I'm certain it's both driving me out and driving Leandra on. If I could only repair the forge, I'm certain she'd realize her errors and put a stop to this madness. What about the mines? Gods, Death Knights, this is dreadful news. Worse than I could have expected. Death Knights are a terrible sign, Source Hunter. Historically, they indicate their maker's intention to wage total war. Death Knights are impervious to attack, you see. Perfect soldiers. Fortunately, you're 2 steps ahead of my sister. That spell you've crafted will render her army utterly vulnerable. She'll not be able to hide behind Tenebrium and dark magic for long. What about this immaculate church? You're 2 steps ahead of my sister, so send that spell? Really? Okay. Nothing new, huh? So I guess that's that. Forge of Souls, alright. Strange human, demonic creature, chamber with 2 bedrooms, plane of fire, room of winter, elemental of earth. Is there anything you can tell me about the air elemental I have met with here? She is a creature of both tenderness and destruction. She is the summer breeze and the thunderstorm both. Once at your command she would drive away the rain clouds and usher in the spring. At other times she would gather them above your enemy and send shattering strokes of lightning down along their shattering spines. Moloch, Great Smithy, dimensional traders. They are merchants that know no borders, and their tongues are made of such flawless silver they need never turn to weapons to get themselves out of the countless predicaments that arise as they travel across magical realms that are as numerous as there are stars in the sky. As there are stars in the skies as yet. Yes, they are merchants that know no life of constancy or even rest, but they care not. With the greed one might mistake for demons, they long for all that is new, or better yet, unknown. Their trade is their life, for it is their very trade that gives them the life they lead, one of exploration, one of boundless freedom among the boundless rifts. Free are they to do so as yet. The smithy, pardon my rather inappropriate outbursts of mirth, but smithy is such a common word for what was once called the anvil of creation. In its fires the blades of gods have been forged, breastplates so impenetrable even the claws of demons would break upon their glistening surfaces. The god box itself was made there, an object so strong it could contain the very void. It is a place of untold power, this smithy, and it is all yours. Okay, we are done. That was a lengthy one, wasn't it? So where do we need to go now? I think we've been through all of these, right? Armory, Trader, Hall of Darkness. Okay. So the only branch that we haven't fully explored is this one right here. We got 1 portal, probably 2 left. I'm not sure about this one here. It looks empty. Hall of Secrets. Maybe they intend to add 1 extra here in an expansion or something. Do you have a moment, my friends, to indulge an old imp? I want you to know that I have been giving your history a lot of thought, for any historian worth his salt duly contemplates the events he records and researches. It is my solemn conclusion that you have been treated rather harshly, that the harshest punishment of all was delivered unto you by your very own hands. For tell me true, what are humans worth even if they ascend to the status of demigod, if they be void of all doubt, if they question unfailingly their duty? The demon abused the most primal emotion, and because of that, that emotion has been dubbed a weakness. Nay, I say, it is not, indeed. It will save us yet, being the very last nick of time. So chipper up, eh? Not like the near impending end of all is entirely your fault.
I know, but only for now. Well,
The chapel.
aren't you going?
Okay.
I have the feeling it has long since been abandoned by the gods, though.
Astarte. O guardians, in whose hands rests the fate of all, I know he, the usurper, the instigator, has been trying to charm you like he once did us both before. Do not listen to him, do not listen, for every sound he makes is another vocalization of deceit, and what is more, a ruse to mark his weakness. First he seems to mock you, then he seems to menace you, then he seems to mesmerize you, but all the while what he really does is fear you. His desire has been long in the making, the freedom among the void. It is his unfathomable dream. But I have stopped him once, and you can do so again. You have pieced yourselves back together, guardians. You are greater now, perhaps, than you ever were. The maw of the wolf is chomping with big black teeth, but there is time still to kill the beast. Rise up, guardians, stand up, come to me at the center of the maelstrom and stand by me.
She's right, you know. Our enemies fear us.
And well they should. We'll hit the void in the jaw yet, and put a halt to its ceaseless devouring of creation.
We got some chests over here. I wondered, we just need to use teleport on them? Nope, it doesn't work. So there are some sort of rewards, I guess. Or is it here where we use the riddles in order to open the chests? Whoa, what the?
Hello there.
Altar of Offerings. Whoa. What? Poison resist plus 100%? Oh my goodness. Although these other 4 ones are pretty much... I don't need them because I got all the rubies I need. But this poison, holy shit, man. You're home. How long it's been? Centuries, eons, since you've come to me in search of salvation. But I have not changed nearly so thoroughly as you have. My offerings remain the same, dear protector, as have my prices. Well, what do you have to offer? Potions of great and incomparable strength, dear protector, as ever. During the Great War, you found full resistance to the elements quite useful. Perhaps history will repeat itself. Oh, that's it? Alright. I believe I do want to buy some poison potions. I'm gonna grab like 3 of them. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna grab one more. 4. Oh, there we go.
Bye.
Thank you. I'm gonna give those to Modora and Johan. There we go. Or Roderick, not Johan. Okay, so this is the entire place. What's up with the chests here? It's quite peculiar, isn't it? But whatever. Not entirely interested in those. Let's head back. Do we have anything else to do? Let's see. Chase zigzags. We probably do not, huh? Okay, cool, that was pretty much it.
Hunter is back.
What more can you tell me about Hikara? Quite a card, isn't she? I never know whether that one's going to offer a striking commentary on my efforts to record the Great Dwarven Wars or a potion meant to turn my tongue blue for a week. She and I have run in the same sort of magical circles for, well, not as long as I can remember, but close to it. Once in a century or so I'll pop in while she's experimenting with a particularly interesting charm and we'll share a mug of glow wine and a discussion about this and that. Quite glad you brought her here, I am. When Hikara's here, there's nothing to fear. That's what she always tells me anyhow. Don't think he has anything else that's new. Leaders of our old men. We can ask about the main story. Okay, let's ask this one. We have learned that the Guardians renounce their humanity to become immortal wardens of the God Box, but then why are their souls now at large fused with ours? It's a mystery. All I can conclude is that something must have gone horribly wrong, and that this wrong is most probably linked to the downfall of Astarte. She opened the God Box after all, which led to the escape of the Void. Somewhere in between, you must have gotten caught in a mayhem that ensued, which in all likelihood is bound to have been a particularly unpleasant event. What do you make of the tale about Starstone you have told us? I can but conclude the Guardians must have felt an overwhelming amount of guilt for their perceived failings. Why else would they scatter their very souls to the wind? We may not have a clear picture as yet of their true involvement in the fall of Astarte, but what we can finally put beyond doubt is how pieces of their very souls, your very souls, are being turned into bloodstone and used by the Immaculates to commit atrocities. They are your enemies, and therefore are they enemies of time. The worst kind of people, those. Actually, let's ask him everything. The story we witnessed is about the fall of Astarte, but who was she really? Astarte was a being of utter purity, a spirit with such a powerful command over the laws of nature that many worshipped her as a goddess, even though strictly speaking she does not belong to the pantheon of the divines. From her fingers flowed healing like water from a source, hence the name that was given to the magical force that was hers, the Source. Yes indeed, you heard me right, that which you have dedicated your lives to hunting and eradicating was once pure and beautiful. Alas, as we have seen, Astarte was turned into opening the container wherein the gods had stored all that is wicked, and ever since the purity of the source had been tainted. Ever since the sorcery has become synonymous with villainy. A sad turn of events, wouldn't you agree? So as it turns out, we were once leaders of all men, but what were we all that time? Mere humans or more? You sell yourselves short by implying mere humans couldn't have become so powerful. You are an intelligent, resilient, and cunning kind of creatures, in case you didn't know, both blessed and cursed with the ability to reach the pinnacle of virtue as well as that of malevolence. Your previous selves chose the path of virtue, and quite clearly the gods must have been pleased with your work. In that sense you may well have become more than human, yes, for the gods bestow their benedictions on those that further their cause. The divines lavish some with divine invocations. For those on the receiving end of these blessings, there is no telling how high they may rise. We have seen the full extent of the demon's workings now, and I can't but wonder, what was he if he was a friend to Astarte? I think he is an ancient being, so very old he outstrips the gods in their lives' longevity. I think he used to be one with the void, that he used to roam freely through a universe that knew no creation. Perhaps that is why I conjecture he may well regard all that is as an abomination as ugly and terrifying as we hold the void to be. Time is a transgression most contemptible in his eyes, space mere savagery. We know what he did. He befriended Astarte and fed her curiosity until it became so agitated with the need to know what rested in the God Box that she herself, this creature of unadulterated purity, turned to deception. He longs for a return to a pre-creational state, for the death of the gods, for the nothingness in which he was born. At least that is my highly educated guess.
Bye for now.
Okay, we received some pretty nice information there. And that's pretty much it for the time being. I think I want to see if I can unlock any of those chests at the fortune teller or rather secret teller. It looks like we got the forbidden zone, and this is probably nothing, honestly. I don't think we can do anything there.
Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
And this might be the final area where the game ends, because it's forbidden zone after all. But let's see about this Hall of Secrets. Where were those? I guess they're not here. I forgot where they are. Oh well, screw it. I'll look them up some other time. But I think we are pretty much done here as well. So let's see. We got this here. Praying to the goddess of stars seems to be something that came natural to us. So we need to go to Hunter's Edge in the dark forest. Legend of the Warship. Yep. We've pretty much finished everything except that one final map. Or almost final, because this might be another map as well. And I'm expecting this to be a fairly short map, which will give closure for the game. But yeah, in the meanwhile I'm gonna explore this area a bit more, see if I can find those chests, and maybe I can unlock some of them, or at least one of them. If not, I'll just continue with my recovering of skills here, because we are missing quite a few of them, so that search shall be fruitful. But until then, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.